Hello there, everyone. I'm attorney Kelly Longtin from Kelly Longtin Law, and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk to you about how an inheritance can enhance loved ones' educational experience. Primary goal of estate planning is to financially provide for your loved ones. One way to ensure that they are set up for lifelong success is with an inheritance that pays for their education. Higher levels of education are positively correlated with better life outcomes, including improved health, longer lifespans, and higher incomes. However, education costs across all levels have risen significantly, pushing a good education out of reach for many families and saddling students with debt that can take decades to pay off. From primary school to postgraduate studies, you can invest in a loved one's education and maximize their potential through your estate plan. Options include direct payments, 529 plans, and money from a will or trust, often with associated tax breaks. While educational gift options abound, their legal mechanics, tax implications, and benefits differ depending on when and how they are given, and restrictions may apply. So some thoughts are that a greater education equals greater well-being, but at what cost? The economic and non-economic benefits associated with a college degree are well established. Compared with people who completed only a high school diploma, those with undergraduate degrees not only earn significantly more on average over their lifetimes and are less likely to be unemployed, but also to enjoy better health and a higher quality of life, including higher job satisfaction, improved self-esteem, improved access to healthcare, and increased civic engagement. According to the United States Bureau of Labor Statistics, people with a bachelor's degree earn two-thirds more than high school graduates. Over the course of their working years, college graduates typically earn around 1 million more than their degreeless peers. Although the economic advantages of a college degree vary based on the degree earned, and despite the rising costs of post-secondary education, most Americans recognize the value of college and view a degree as a golden ticket to prosperity. However, earning a college degree has never been more expensive, and these costs are forcing some Americans to rethink whether it's worth the investment. Tuition and fees have tripled since the 1960s, jumping by 60% between 2000 and 2022, from around 9,000 to nearly 15,000 per year. From 2010 to 2022, the average annual tuition and fees went from $12,979 to $14,688. That's a 13% increase. These rising costs, which include room, board, and books and other supplies, in addition to tuition, are discouraging many students from attending college and contributing to enrollment declines. The average federal student loan debt balance in 2024 was nearly $40,000, while the total average balance, including private loan debt, is even larger. Today, the typical public university student borrows almost $32,000 to earn a bachelor's degree. Far from the golden ticket of a degree, student loan debt can limit wealth building and upward mobility instead of opening doors. Costs are rising at K through 12 private schools, which are generally considered a gateway to higher education. Research shows that private schools are better than public schools at preparing students to enter college, most likely due to their higher scores on standardized tests and more demanding graduation requirements. However, the average annual private school tuition is $12,000 to $13,000, including about $9,000 for private elementary school and roughly $16,000 for private high school. Today, a student who attends private schools from kindergarten through 4 years of post-secondary study can expect to pay more than $300,000. As college enrollment declines, trade programs are picking up the slack. Trade and vocational schools are usually a much cheaper option than a traditional 4-year college. Programs cost approximately $5,000 to $20,000 and are often completed within 2 years. Enrollment in these programs, which many young people see as a quicker and more affordable path to a good job, have seen strong growth, including double-digit increases in some fields. In addition, students who take advantage of internships and externships while in college have improved employment prospects. However, even a paid internship can impose costs on students, such as housing, transportation, and other living expenses. Family contributions are vital to achieving educational goals. Families are a significant funding source for education at all levels. For example, parents contributed an average of $13,000 per year to an undergraduate education costs. Family financial help can also play a major role in paying for trade school, private K through 12 school, and internship related expenses. Every dollar a family invests in a loved one's education alleviates their potential debt burden and fast tracks their future success. To make your legacy a launchpad for their achievements, consider the following educational gifts and their potential tax benefits. The first type of gift is direct tuition payments. Tuition paid directly to an educational institution is not considered a taxable gift. This exemption applies to K through 12 schools, colleges, and trade schools, but covers only tuition, not room and board, books, or other expenses. It allows parents, grandparents, or other relatives to contribute without using their annual or lifetime gift tax exclusion. Next gift is a 529 plan. Contributions grow tax-free and withdrawals for qualified educational expenses, tuition, fees, books, room and board, computers, are also tax-free at the federal level. Since 2018, funds from 529 plans can be used for K through 12 tuition up to $10,000 per year. Some states offer tax deductions or credits for contributions, and starting in 2024, unused funds can be rolled into a Roth IRA for the beneficiary. Then there's Coverdell Education Savings Accounts, ESAs. Contributions subject to limitations and capped at $2,000 per year per beneficiary are not tax deductible, but earnings grow tax-free if used for qualified educational expenses from kindergarten to higher education, including tuition, fees, books, supplies, tutoring, and certain technology needs, and they provide flexible investing options. While tax benefits make it appealing to use those savings for a loved one's education, not all education-related expenses fit the rules laid out. Some expenses happen outside the classroom and may impose additional student costs that families can help cover. For example, there's internships and externships. There's school field trips that also come up where monies can be used, and depending on the trip, the cost to participate can be very expensive. Education funding can take place during your lifetime or after you die. Lifetime gifts use gift tax rules. Post-death gifts fall under estate tax rules that are applied at death. However, because the lifetime gift and estate tax are unified, using one affects the other, and lifetime and post-death estate planning strategies should not be viewed separately. You might therefore use a mix of lifetime and posthumous educational gift strategies. So you want to consider some common scenarios. During your life, you have direct tuition payments. You can pay tuition at an educational institution at any time while you're alive, and it is immediately exempt from gift tax. There's 529 plans. You can establish and fund a 529 plan while alive, taking advantage of tax-free growth over time and the ability to front-load 5 years' worth of annual exclusions. You control the account and you can adjust beneficiaries as needed. Then there's payments to loved ones for a specific purpose. Currently, you can give $19,000 per year per recipient tax-free during your life for any purpose, including non-tuition expenses such as internship costs or field trips, reducing your taxable estate while you're alive. After your death through a will or a trust, you can set up a will or a trust to allocate funds for tuition, directing your executor or trustee to pay educational institutions on behalf of a loved one. Then you have 529 plans. You cannot fund a 529 posthumously through a will because it is a lifetime savings vehicle tied to a living account owner. However, you could name a successor owner for a spouse or a child for an existing 529 Or your estate could distribute funds to a beneficiary who then opens a 529, though this option loses the pre-death tax-free growth benefit. After your death, the executor of your estate or successor trustee of your trust can distribute the funds to an existing 529 plan, depending on what your will or trust instructs and what funds are available. Note that contributions from a will or a trust will not qualify for the gift tax exclusion and will still be part of the taxable estate. It's also important to clearly name the account beneficiary and owner, since the account owner will control how the funds are to be used. You might also consider using a trust created via your will called a testamentary trust or funded during your lifetime called a revocable living trust that offers gifting flexibility. You can instruct the trustee to pay for tuition, tech, or living expenses, mimicking lifetime strategies. Trusts can also be tailored to pay tuition directly to schools or distribute $10,000 a year for education. Whether it incorporates a gifting while living strategy or a standard inheritance, your estate plan can unlock the power of education while leveraging tax breaks. So you want to schedule a meeting with your qualified estate planning attorney so you can discuss all of this with them into specific strategies so you can see which one is the best for the student in your life. So I want to thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to our page below and hit the notification button so you can be notified of any new videos to help you better understand estate planning and how it can benefit your family. Thanks for watching.